Oh, damn. I pressed it, but then it wasn't on the live part. Just kidding. Here we go again, folks. Oh my God. This producer life is wild. Hey, y'all. Say hey in the comments.
Good morning. Ignore that.
The silence before the grand reveal.
You know, we're counting down.
All
Here we
right, what
come.
up? What up? What up? What up, y'all? Hey, 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 welcome to another episode of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. We're two real life cousins. We're here to talk about all the stuff that we thought was normal in our family, but it was actually the recipe for dysfunction. We unpack things. We talk about our stories. We share our voices, especially when it comes to healing and mental health. And we are happy that y'all are here to take this ride with
Amen.
us. We have been on a journey of self discovery, a whole lot of laughter, and a whole lot of healing. So, welcome. My name is Kimberland Thailand,
Hi.
House of O'Neill, Jackson, and Adams, empathetic energizer, intuitive, inspirational innovator, seer of souls who are hurting, healer of hearts, and voice to the voiceless. What up? Oh, wait, dang,
I
wait.
know that's right.
Let me get that
Bah,
sound
bah,
effect.
bah, thank you, everybody. Thank you. I am Kalonda, first of her name, assistant of entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content sometimes, dancer of dreams, and excellence in enchantress, and melanated.
I'm so glad I
So
wasn't drinking nothing just now.
it would have been good. It's always time for a good spitzy.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so we want to welcome you, but before we go too much further, because we will start the show before the show, we want to make sure we're clear on what you can expect from us, what we expect from you, just to make sure everybody's on one accord, one band, one sound, right? So, what can you expect from us? Full transparency, right? We are not experts on everything. We are experts in certain things. And the things that we're not experts on, we're going to tell you. And on top of telling you, we're going to connect you to the people that do have the answers because that's what we do. What else can you expect? A good old time. We also curse. Let's insert that right there. Sometimes you need the colorful language. And I realized I had to say that because what I was about to say was, we are a fucking hoot. Like, we are funny. We
Did
are
I
a
ever
good
tell
time.
you? Wait, did I tell
Well,
you
tell me.
I had a thing that I was gonna put out. I feel like it was a voice message one time where I was talking to Bianca, and as I was talking, I was like, I'm a motherfucking hoot. Like, and I created a whole like logo and everything for it. Cause I was like, I am a good time. When I go back and
Like,
listen to
I am
myself,
funny. You know? Girl, right now I've been caught up. It wasn't often that I would go through like Facebook memories and stuff like that. See, we started the day. But lately I've been like, oh, let me go look at my memories. Like, what was I doing last year today? And I'm like reading the things, reading the comments, and I was like, I'm funny. Like, whether anybody else thinks I'm funny or not, I find myself
and you're
hilarious. Which
witty.
I think
Like you're
also,
quick. You be having the quick wits, like and it be having a little
oh.
special seasoning on it. You quick with it.
That's not always a good thing because sometimes I say it and then I be like, "Ooh, that was." text probably should have been left inside, but it's out there now. I mean, I said it, I meant it. But it was just, if I had thought about it a second longer, I might have cleaned it up a little bit.
Fair.
But you never know. But yes, so we are funny. We are a good time. Yes, like we said, there's things we've gone through. We're gonna share our lives, share our stories. But we always find a way to kind of mix some humor in it, so it's not all so heavy. Now, what do we expect from you? We want you to have the willingness to come on this journey with us. So, what does that look like? Talking, engaging, say hey in the comments where you're watching from because we are international. And then talk to each other down there, right? Because we can all be friends. Like this is a community that we are building here. While you're here, what we would like is for you to like, comment, subscribe, share, watch. All the things, right? And while you're sharing and watching, as you're seeing wherever else we may be on these internet streets, don't be afraid to use our emojis when you see us. That way, it's like a little bit of love that we know you came in from, so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese. So, my emojis are a ladybug and a blue heart. So, ladybugs, lovely little messengers from the universe, from God, that you are on the right path, that you are resilient, that you are strong. And they definitely guided my way on my exit from the States and then my recovery from a mental health crisis and coming out of burnout. The little ladybugs were with me along the whole way. So that's why you see my ladybugs. And then cobalt blue is my absolute favorite color in the whole world, just because it feels rich and home and luxurious, and it just feels like a hug. It feels good. And I've committed on this side of my life to be loved out loud and to love out loud and not be trying to figure out what people mean. I just take it all for what it is, and that's fine by me. What are your emojis, Kim?
I'm like, facts, bro. So yellow is my favorite color, and because of that, the sunflower is one of my emojis. The sunflower reminds me of the sun and of staying in the light because they always turn to the light. Sunflowers are also the symbol for invisible disabilities. And as someone who is neurodivergent and lives with all sorts of mental health conditions that are going on, I have become a fierce advocate for those of us who have things happening behind the scenes while we look normal on the surface. So
Whatever
that's the
that is.
sunflower. And then the crayon, because there was a time where I felt like I was living my life in black and white, and I made a conscious decision to color the fuck out of my life. So insert said crayon.
Amen, amen, amen.
Yes. So we do have some updates that we want to give you all. So we are at 1,224 subscribers.
Ooh, woo, 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 woo,
Okay.
woo.
Yes.
All the things, all the things, all the
Yes.
things.
So people are finding us. I was thinking this morning when we hit 1,000 and we had the twerk session at the Bear Cave, and it's exciting. This YouTube journey is exciting, and also the other part of that is we need y'all to watch our content, right? So I have been thinking
Watch
about
us, watch
things
us.
that I can do, like going live and different things to kind of build this community. Because as Kalonda was talking about, yes, y'all are here
Mm,
talking to us, but also talk to each other, right? We are all over the world. So please take a moment right now to
yes.
tell us in the chat, where are you watching from if you're watching live? If you are watching the replay, go ahead and make a comment to let us know
Yes.
where you are watching from. En español, hold on. Dime dónde tú miras. Tell me
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
where
mm-hmm.
you are watching. Okay, dime dónde de tú
Right.
miras. Okay, that's
There it
let's
is.
say that's what it
That
is.
feels good.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
feels
that
good.
felt
We got the
great.
of in there.
That felt great. Etienne, can
Girl,
you tell me in the
real
chat como
life.
se dice en español, porfa? So we have folks watching from Peru. We also have Panama here in the chat with us. We have Bahrain here in the chat with us. So we are international, is the point. All right. So we want y'all to be able to build this international community
Amen.
as well. Because we got cool peeps. All right. So we want y'all, to get with the peeps. All right. So, having said that, we also want
Yes.
to let you know we have a segment that is called Ask an Auntie. Okay. Now, it's a lot of things happening with the young people.
Yes.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch my last episode of The Frolicking Truth, but it's a
I
lot
did
going
not.
on with the young folks right now, and they
But
got questions, okay, that need answers. So
got
we want to be able
it.
to
Okay.
provide
That's why we're here.
some of that guidance and understanding of what's going on, and also
Amen.
we have grown people who have questions and that need
Hell
answers.
yeah. I
Okay,
have
so
questions.
okay, so this is our way to be able to get those questions answered. All right. So, having said that, if you have a dilemma, you have a question or wondering, if you go to tinyurl.com/ask an auntie, you can talk to us about the things and we will give you our opinions and we can unpack it and we can have a whole what we used to call it in education, problem of practice. Okay, we can have a whole protocol, y'all, and
Yes.
figure some things out. All right.
Let's
So
do it.
again, if you go to tinyurl.com/ask an auntie, then you will be able to submit those things. All right. And then the last thing, I wanted to tell you this and see your face because I was going to tell you before we
Okay.
came. And then I was like, but no, I want you to see. We
Girl.
got our first request for a guest to be on the show. So we're in the oh
Yay!
wait, I gotta play something for that. Hold on, let's do a cheer. Wait. Yeah, we got our first guest.
Woo!
Okay.
Pew,
So
pew, pew, pew. We are spreading syrup on grilled cheese to the world.
yes, doing the good work of the Lord. So for those of you that
Amen while
are
we do it.
okay, that are like, okay, I want to come on. Y'all seem like a good time. Definitely want to come and hang out. What we need you to do is email us at mindingmyblackAssBusiness@gmail.com. So mindingmyblackAssBusiness@gmail.com. And there with the subject line, let me on there, is how you apply to be a guest on the show. So we will soon be planning for that, having our first guest on to come on for a little bit and chat it up with us. But yeah,
Love
I was
it.
really excited about that. They were like, "So how I get on the show? What I need to do?" And I was like, "All
Ah,
right,
yes.
let's
Come
get it
on
popping."
in. First,
Yes.
have the sandwich.
And that was the thing. So, in order to come on, you have to try syrup on your grilled cheese. It is mandatory. And give an honest review, and
Yeah.
we just gonna it's gonna change your life. Okay. If you haven't done it,
You'll be
it's
like,
gonna change your
damn.
life. And so just
Mm.
be ready, for your mind to be blown. Okay, just be ready. All right. So yeah, so I think that's all the announcements and all the things. I wanted to check. Again, we have Panama checking in. We have Jasmine here with us from Medellin. So we all over the place. We have our tool from Tool Shed over in Bahrain. So shout out to y'all. All
Yeah,
right. And
buddy.
yeah, y'all talk to each other there in the chat. Okay, so our first segment that we have, our first kind of check-in is we can combine these if you want, is our transparency moment where we kind of
Okay.
figure out how our spirit is feeling, and then our yes indeed life updates. Now before I get into any of this, we have a national holiday that just happened on June 5th. And that national holiday is the birthday of Kalonda Jackson. Okay. We gotta put this
Dun, dun,
on.
dun,
We gotta
dun.
put this on here.
One
Okay.
time for the birthday, bitch. Hey.
Hey. So, before we go any further, y'all, wish Kalonda please a happy birthday in the chat. Do you want to
Aw.
share with the people how old you made and all of that, or
I
what you want to say?
Well, I am now 46. Look out. It happened. Won't he do it? And apparently, according to the chart that has been floating around the internet, I am no longer a cougar. I have moved into the Thundercat era of my existence. So that is now
Okay.
something.
I didn't know that women could be Thundercats, though. I thought Thundercats were just for men.
I've never heard anyone called a Thundercat before, outside of the cartoon from the 80s. Thundercat! Like, that was my only Thundercat reference. Um,
Got
did not
you.
know it was a thing.
Okay. Okay.
But, as we've said before, I prefer that over cougar. Because, again, I think the cougar implies intent, not just age. And I'm not trying to find anybody younger than me. That is what happened, but that wasn't the intent.
I can relate to that. I don't think I've ever thought about
Yeah.
cougar as being like, I don't want to use this word. I don't think I've thought about it as the cougar is the one who is doing the seeking. I think I've just thought about it because it's
Oh,
like I young people are attracted to me. That's not my fault. We're
well,
youth
I mean, who wouldn't be attracted to you?
or
You
you.
know?
Like we are youthful
Uh,
and like gorgeous. So like
I mean,
we
I
can't help
mean,
it. You can't help that a younger person is attracted to you.
but I
What are
feel
you
like that's
supposed to
not
do?
my normal. I'm not, I can't help that part. It's just historically that has not been the attraction. Or what probably happened is because I don't see that sometimes, is I
That's
probably
fair.
didn't register it that way. And
That's fair.
so, and I didn't see them that way. So I really wasn't checking for anything that was happening. So that could be it. Maybe. I'll go with that. We'll
So
let that
you are
ride for a
now
little bit, see how I
officially
feel.
a Thundercat, and
I'm
since
officially
you
a
crossed over
Thundercat.
the 46 threshold.
Yes, to the 46
Okay.
of it all, which is very, very interesting. Because on one of the TikTok trends that'll be on Facebook in about a month, I guess, is the show me what 50 looks like. So it's like everybody's like taking like videos of like, oh, I heard that people want to see what 50-year-olds look like. And it's so interesting the range. Like you have the really youthful, like, oh my gosh, 50 where kind of people. And then you have some people where you're like, oh, I would have maybe thought you
Life
were a
is
little
good
bit
too.
older than 50.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you've been through some things, boo. Like water and moisturizer. But it's just very interesting to see that gamut. And either way, like it's beautiful to see people proud of it, where it's not like, oh, I'm turning 50 or I'm 50 now, I can't do anything. Like there's still, even though regardless of outer appearance, there's still like the pride and the youthfulness of like, I'm alive, I'm still here, like I'm still doing things. Don't count me out. So yes, there's life
Yeah.
after 40.
So how does 46 feel?
46 feels good. Stupid period still here. I mean, when does that go away? That would be nice.
Facts. These
Like
women,
you don't have to be here no
I'm
more.
in these perimenopause groups on Facebook, and these women
Uh-huh.
are talking about they've been dealing with perimenopause for 10 and 15 years.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
want this. I don't want to do
No
this.
signs of letting up. I was at a brunch, well, and I'll talk about it later too, where one of the young ladies was just like, "Are you in perimenopause?" And I was like, and she's like, "You would know." Like, oh, okay.
So you haven't
I
had
must
like
not be.
any symptoms that you're aware of?
Not that I'm attributing to that. I mean,
Really? You haven't had a hot flash?
I get hot at night, but
Yo,
I think
you
what
would
I
know.
imagine a hot flash is like, like
Bruh, I didn't
your
tell you
own
about
personal
I
summer.
had to have told you about when I had the hot flash in the park, in the bathroom.
Oh yes, 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 yes. So
You
no,
would
I
know.
haven't had anything. I mean, knock on all the things. I have not had that experience.
Okay, so you a super youthful
So,
46er.
Lord willing, please and thank you. I'm a hold on to it as long as I can. Long as I can.
Okay, so 46 feels good. Do you feel different? Like because this is what I was reflecting on this morning. Because again, memories are coming up, right? And
Uh-huh.
so our show last year for your birthday,
Yes.
you were still in New Orleans, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe you had just said that had sold the house and was about to like get
Mm-hmm.
that process started and all that. And so you did that and you moved to Medellin and you have like this whole new life now. So I am like just so curious when you look back from
Yeah.
a year ago of how you're processing this 46th year that you get to be here.
Yeah. It's, I mean, well, first, the get to be here of it all is very strong because, it's been wild, and there was, trigger warning, but like, very, very severe mental health struggle at the beginning of 23, 4, 24. I don't, girl, time. What is
It
time?
was
What is
four,
it?
I think.
Uh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, where like that January there was a suicide attempt, and coming out of that, making the decision to leave the state, sell all my belongings, pare down my life to 3 suitcases and a backpack, and then bet on myself because how am I making money to survive? Um, so all of these things, and then actually doing it. So like this year has really been, and I've said this a few times, just in different things of like a proof of concept that like you can believe in yourself, you can trust in yourself. And even though there isn't, yes, there are certain blueprints and paths that already exist, that it's okay to like step off of all of those and just kind of forge your own and see what's out there, because there's always the ability to pivot. Like we get so stuck in, this was my plan, this was what was supposed to happen, this is what my life was supposed to look like I should be doing this. And I've told you before, I had a therapist that was like, stop shitting on yourself. Like, get that off of you. Like, it's what it's supposed to be. So this
Yeah.
last year has very much been all of that, discovering what I like, what I want to do, and not censoring anyone else around that process but myself, and then giving myself the grace to do that, because that's not easy. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, especially if your whole life has been about making everybody else comfortable and like measuring your safety against other people's comfort and
Yeah.
emotions, and being so tied into that you have no clue what it is you want to do. So when people are like, "Oh, what you want to do for your birthday?" It's like, "Oh, whatever you want, it's fine." Like, I don't know. And like, but being thinking that that's making you easy to get along with, and it's actually really frustrating to the people around you, because they want to deliver something for you that you'll enjoy, but they don't
Correct.
understand that you really don't know the answer to that question.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, but I do know I enjoy spending time with you, so I don't care if that's bowling or skating. It doesn't matter to me what we do. That's a non-issue. Like, I might like it, I might not. I'm a terrible bowler. I have literally bowled a 33 out of 10
Good.
frames. So it's never gonna be my pick to be like, oh, let's go bowling. But I have fun bowling because there's a bar there. Like you can like have people laughing. Not a problem. It'll be great. Be a great time. But yeah, so this year, this year has definitely been about honing, what I like, what I want, what do I want this life to look like, um, and proof of concept to myself that I can do it, and
Mm.
just been very eye opening, continuing to be with like village audits, unintentional more times than not, but they still get the same result. You understand who and what is there for you, or who is there for you in what capacity, which is probably more accurate. Um, and being able to kind of move in those circles as you find that information out, and being okay with whatever that is, and saying, not now doesn't mean never. So who knows what the future holds? But for right now, this is what it is. Um, but yeah, 46 has been a trip. But I mean, like you said, I was in Medellin at the first part in August, and now I'm in Lima, Peru, which is wild to me because I mean, I thought I would live and die in New Orleans. Like I
So I
went to
want to, and
school.
I really want to like, because I don't know if you remember what you were like when you first came to Medellin.
Tell me.
So I distinctly remember this one day that I was very intentional, like, girl, have a soft entry, like sit down and chill, like relax, right? But there was one day
Right.
that I was showing you where the pool was, I think maybe. And we
Oh yeah.
were like going through the property, and like you were just so unsure, and like, okay, I'm trusting you, but I don't really know, and just to watch you go from there to starting to kind of go out, and then you found like your community and found the cigar bars, and then you was out riding motorcycles and going to soccer games, and you know what I mean, like you really, it was really beautiful to see you kind of go from this place of uncertainty to now, like, having the time in Medellin, and then being like, now I'm about to go to another country and do this on my own for real. And because
Yeah.
there's not a soft landing there, like, it's just y'all. So what has that been like? And do you recognize
Yeah.
it? Like, do you see how far you have come?
So yes, and funny enough, thank goodness to Carla. Thank you for that therapist too. Speaking of soft landed, um, like even just hearing her kind of echo some of those same sentiments of like, I'm happy and proud of you, and it's reflective to see where you've come, and like hearing that, because that day when we were in the pool or walking around the pool, I was literally having a panic attack. Like that was panic attack, paranoia, like wild. Because what I always took from that too was because it was like I had a feeling of like deja vu, but that it was dangerous. And it was interesting because you were like, but why, like, why would that be bad? Like, okay, if it feels like you've been here before, like, okay, cool, like, what happened? But it was like such like terror of something bad is about to happen, and like I just know it in my bones, but I'm also trying to not freak you out and you'd be like, bitch, get your bags and go. Like I did not sign up for this. Like, so I'm like trying to quietly lose my mind. Like, okay, it's all right. We're gonna make it through this. So I remember that day very, 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 very vividly. Yes. But seeing coming from that, yes, has been wild. And I even did like a voice note where I was talking about going into this new thing, and saying like, a lot there was that built-in safety net, and you were a soft landing, and it was just like, okay, here we go. Like I don't know where to go or who to talk to or what WhatsApp group to be in, and all those things. And so at least having that information from being in Medellin and being there with you and having the freedom to kind of work through those feelings and going, okay, like you're gonna be all right, so that when it was time, like, okay, it's time for me to spread my little ladybug wings and fly. Um, there was some experience there. And it was really cool because I was able to like just get into the groups and be like, hey, so I need a braider. Like, do you know people who do, natural hair or whatever? And bless this sweet woman's heart. Oh my God. Because somebody in the group was like, well, what type of hair, like, what's your hair type or something they asked me. And I'm like,
So this
oh,
was a
okay.
group like with
So whatever recommendation
Peruvians.
you're about to, correct. Well, it was
Okay.
like Peruvians and expats. So it was like
Got
a
you.
We Love Lima group or something like that,
Okay,
or like
okay,
a
okay.
Miraflores group. And so like some information was coming in, but you could tell they didn't really know what I was asking. And this wonderful, wonderful woman messaged me on the side and was like, "Here you go, baby girl. Like, this is what you're actually looking for. Here are some people, blah blah blah." And then
Well,
after
that's how you
that,
do it.
she was
That's
like,
how you get in there and figure the things out. That's what
"It
I be
was
telling people. Like if you go on in the Facebook group or in whatever group, somebody in there is going to be like, "Hey, sis, I got you. Don't worry. This where we at.
like,
We over here. These are the
come on
things that you
over."
need."
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, because it was I didn't know, and thank God for her because even after that, she was like, "Hey, when do you get in? We're gonna have brunch with some other ladies that are, newly into Peru. So like within 3 years. So some people have been here for a few months, and some people have been here for a few years. Like come to brunch, and it was amazing. Like thank you, thank God. And then she even said, she's like, I'm never in there. She interacts with me like
She is
like
me.
kind of how we did sometimes in the Medellin group of like pop in, pop out, if you see something or you're going there and search to see what's in there for what you're looking for. She was like, I had no business being in there. I just happened to go in. I was in the grocery store and I saw your message and then I saw their responses that weren't answers to your message
Mm-hmm,
and was
mm-hmm.
like, oh, here, let me send this to her, and it was wonderful. And then to just see people invite you into their spaces, and into kind of their connections and their network. It's a beautiful thing. And to be able to kind of reach back, because at one point you were that confused person that didn't know where you were going to get your hair done and didn't know where you were going to get a wax or like
Yeah.
I need a
Anything.
doctor's appointment or
Yeah.
all of the things, and when you're planning to leave the states or take these extended trips to these different countries, you may be looking at where's my Airbnb, what type of food do I want, but you're not going, oh, where can I get my hair care products? Like, oh, do they ship my lipstick or whatever, like, and having those type of relationships and connections helps you find that information. Like that's the part of like building your life in these places. So yes, 46 has been tremendous. Seeing that change from last year to this year has been extremely eye opening. I can't wait to see what the next year looks like because this is going to be probably 90 days here or 85. Um, then I don't know where from here. Maybe Belize, maybe Brazil, maybe one of these days I actually get to Bali. um, so who knows? Like I'll figure it out next month.
Yeah. I
we'll
love that
we'll
so
go from there.
much. I'm so
But
excited for you.
oh, thank you, and thank you for being all of those things, and just letting me be, and it was like, okay, this experience is your experience. I'm here if you need me. Um, but what? All right, sounds good. So that was very comforting. But I was also happy to give you back your space because I was like, I want you to also enjoy your time and your surroundings, and I know that you know having anyone else sharing space with anyone is going to be additional energy and things that you have to deal with, and just, differences on how you would normally just live your life versus being alone. So I was happy to get that back to you because I was like, I know she's ready. She's past ready. And I'm ready to get some water. But, we're going to find the sun one day out here. I'll let you know.
So you're welcome. And I'm grateful that I had it to give. And I'm also grateful that with you all being at the house, it helped me then to be able to have a soft landing when everything went crazy in the US and like all of that. And I was like, oh my, I don't know what I'm finna do. Right. So as you were talking about earlier, just being able to recognize when it's time to pivot and being okay with
Hmm.
like the ebbs and flows and um the ability to be flexible in situations. I will definitely say the
Hmm.
most difficult thing for me to manage was that damn construction. When I tell
I know
you,
it. I
girl,
know it.
and I asked somebody the other day, I was like, did you watch Scandal? Did you ever watch Scandal?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
100%.
you know how they would depict torturing in Scandal, like with
Mm,
noise and light. That is how it
the
felt
lights.
every single day.
Oh,
So
my God.
it wasn't even that there are people here. It was like my brain is constantly being jackhammered every single day. And how do I
Mm,
help myself through that? So I'm grateful
yeah.
to have been able to transition to a place that has loud silence. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But before I
Tell
get
us
to me,
about it.
I
Oh.
got more questions about Peru before that. So talk to us about the differences. So before we went live, we were talking about the weather. And so Medellin is
Yes.
the city of eternal spring. So the temperature
Yes.
here is kind of like range between 65 and 85, let's just say.
Hmm.
And 85 is really pushing it. That don't happen too often and maybe only
Not
be certain
often.
times a day with direct sunlight. So it's usually, and this is in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry if you're Celsius,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Do the
don't know the
knowledge. I
Celsius.
don't know what it is right now.
Subtract 45 or whatever it is. I
It's
don't
I
know.
know the
It's like
formula is like 5/9 plus 32 or minus 32 or 9/5. I know that, but also I'm not about to do that math. Um,
good on you.
so in Fahrenheit, it's around 75 degrees. So it is very, tank tops and
Nice.
sundresses and not too hot, not too cold. So my understanding is I heard you say a moment ago that the sun hasn't been out and it's cooler there. So talk to us about the differences that you've seen
Yeah.
between Peru and Colombia.
And Colombia. Well, so Lima specifically is technically a desert. So it's already, yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So so it automatically is going to be a little bit cooler, and it's on the coast. So you also get the ocean air. So sometimes that lends to it also being foggier and just like wet, like that heavy wet air. Um, the temperature wise is really not very different. Like the range is about 60 to 70 degrees. Um, but there's donde está el sol? Like, where is it? Because where is the
El
sun?
sol no está aquí.
I
Está
literally
muy
saw
nublado.
no aquí. Sí. Muy. Es todo. Todo días. So the I think since I've been here, it's been right at a week. Yeah, right at a week or 2 weeks.
Girl, this week feel like
I got here on so a week, right
it's
at a
been a
week.
week, yeah, but
That's
it feels like
crazy.
it's been in
A
my
month.
world. It feel yes. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Go ahead.
It's not just you. You are not alone. I was like, holy shit, that was last week. I've seen the sky, like the blueness in the sky one time. Like otherwise, it is just cloud cover. Yeah. So I get here coming from Medellin with my leggings, with my, sundresses. I did have in my three suitcases and a backpack, I had a packing cube that was my winter closet. So that I never unpacked. It was just up there because I never needed a jacket, my sweatshirts. And when I say, I mean like two sweatshirts. One of them is cropped, so it's not real life. A sweatshirt that Marlene made me that says manifest that shit. And then I had, I think, two jackets, one of which has been burgled. I've lost that to the love. And then
That was like burgled. Got you.
friggin' Bianca. Then I think I had like some long sleeve, like long cardigan kind of things, right? So my winter closet. So I get here and I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly, and it's still South America, so there's air conditioning is not a norm, so there is no heating or air here, which I've gotten acclimated to. But it was cold. And I was like, oh, I need to put socks on. Like, what is happening right
And
now?
that's a big deal because you
Um,
like your toes out.
I like everything out as much as possible. But yes, especially but like socks. Girl, I'm wearing socks right now. It is
Wow.
cold. So I get here and then I get the invite for the brunch. And I'm like, oh yay, get to go to brunch. And I'm just looking at all my brunch clothes and I'm like, hmm, shoulders out, back out, short dress. And then I like switched shoes. So they were just all kind of like logistics for getting dressed for this event. And then not knowing, because there's levels of brunch and I don't know these ladies yet. So I'm like, is this like brunch down, like, or it's just like, oh, we're cool, we're going to meet for some food.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
all it, the overthinking of it all, I was just like, okay, I don't even know what to wear. Like, do you put your pearls on? Like, do you?
Pearls.
So you just don't know,
Your
right?
pearls and your gloves and your
Not my
t-shirt.
gloves. No, there's no gloves, but there are pearls. It's my birthstone. But anyway, um,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
so I decided, okay, I have this like heavier, it's like a heavier material kind of shift dress with pockets. It's cute. It's army green because again, it's gray every day, so it feels weird to be like, it's summer. Let me put my coral on, so it's like dress for the weather, not the season, or the season, not the weather. I don't
But
know
is it
what that looks like.
considered, isn't it
This is their
considered
winter.
winter there?
Yes, this is their
Yeah.
winter. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, so everybody very much is like gray, black, let me get my coat on, my jacket, and it's like real coats. So, which I've never had because I lived in San Diego for a number of years. Like, I don't do snow. I am not a cold weather girly. That is not my life.
But they be
So,
dramatic too, though, because when I used to live, no, for real, nah, because okay, it's cold, but it's not puffer jacket
girl,
coat
puffers,
cold.
pea coats,
I know
trenches,
they used to do that in Mexico City,
the
and I used to
boots.
be like, wait a minute
I was,
now. But also to your point, Mexico City is also like kind of a little gray, and the temperature
uh-huh.
is closer to, it would kind of get into the 50s there. That's where I
Mm,
started out. And so my wardrobe
gotcha.
was army green, white, gray, and denim. I feel like is what my kind of color scheme was. But then when I came to Medellin is when I started changing it to color because it was always
Yeah,
spring. So interesting.
girl.
Okay, okay, I'm
Yes.
following. Mm-hmm.
So I get dressed. I'm like, okay, cool. I got my little tennis shoes because I'm gonna mix it. So I'm gonna do my tennis shoes, my little dress, got my clutch. I feel good. I feel like I can swing whichever way this brunch is gonna go. I took my pearls off. I did my little Chanel version of take one thing off before you leave. Make sure you do that. Um, and so I walk outside I was like, oh, like took my breath away. But the Uber was already there, so I couldn't go back up and at least even just get my little jacket and be like, okay, let me put something on my arms.
So you
So I
left
was like,
without a
screw it.
jacket?
Without a jacket, without an umbrella. I was like, Kim would be very upset. Oh no, I did have an umbrella. I lied. I had my
I'm
umbrella.
like,
I even
ma'am, we done
attached.
talked about the kit. You got to have
I
the
even
kit with the things.
I even attached my umbrella to my clutch because I was like, I'm gonna sit this damn umbrella down because it couldn't fit in my clutch. Because that was also the thing of like normally we would just throw on a backpack and go, So it was like, oh, this clutch is cute, but it don't have no room for my stuff, right? So anyway, so I attach my thing, I go, and then I'm sitting there. Then like the ladies are starting to arrive. They've got like their blazers and their coats and their like crop puffers. One of the girls had on a just like a long sleeve black crop shirt. So I was like, oh, okay. But I felt like as a part of my introduction, I had to be like, I just got here Friday. It's Sunday. And I swear I don't have a coat. I didn't know it was gonna be this cold. I've been in spring since August of last year. I'm so sorry. Like, cause they have to be like, who let this woman out of the house so poorly prepared for the
This is
outside? Like,
funny.
what is happening? So, but they were very nice. They were very gracious. If they thought it, then they may have had a conversation in the side group chat without me. So it's okay though.
The
But
same thing probably happened to them when they got there. They was like, woo, celebrity.
girl,
Ooh,
it
and you're
was
coming into
wild.
winter.
With
Yeah.
with with what? With I have
Yeah.
a freaking crop top that said I should call in thick today. Like that's my
You gotta
winter
make
coat.
the best of it, baby. Listen, I used to have on two or
Those are
three
my winter coats.
sweatshirts under my army fatigue jacket. This is
Girl.
where it is. Because what I'm not about to do is buy no bubble coat. That's what's not finna happen. Okay.
Girl. But then I also don't know how to like prepare because I'm thinking space, and I'm not going to be here for a super extended amount of time. So, like, buying a pair of knee high boots and a trench coat doesn't
Correct.
really seem fiscally responsible? So it's like,
Correct.
where's this stuff going to go? Because my mom immediately was like, do you need sweatsuits? Like, you need a jacket? And I was like, don't buy anything yet because I don't know. I don't know if this is just like this week.
Right.
So I asked, who did I ask? I think I asked the lady who did, I asked somebody, I was like, is it like this all the time? Like, is there just like this temperature, but some days it's sunny, or it's like
Mm-hmm.
always gloom and mist and this temperature? Like, she's like, kind of. So I just got that information.
Okay.
So yeah, I probably do need to get something because it's going to be an extended period of time for it to feel like this. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's the weather so far. Again, I've been here a week. And it's very different from what it was when I came the first time. Because when I came in February, it was like, it looked like Medellin. It was spring. It was overcast in the morning, but it burned off. But I was closer to the ocean. Like I was like a block away from the water. Um, but here I'm like in the city, which is it reminds me. I feel like it looks like Canal Street, like as if an
Okay.
Airbnb was on Canal Street, like you're living
Interesting.
downtown.
Okay.
So it's like a very interesting feel. Super flat, so I don't have to worry about hills jumping out of
Okay.
nowhere. Um, girl. Yeah, there's like a bunch of little corner stores. I haven't
How
been
is
to
the
the mall
Spanish?
yet. So far, I'm trying to think if somebody, I don't think anyone's corrected me on something that I normally say, but like here, I feel like in Medellin, I would normally just say like buenas, but like here it is very much hola, or like specifically buenas tardes, buenas noches. Like it's not just buenas or buen dia,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
hear that as much, so I'm trying to like curb it. I did reach out to somebody to actually be a Spanish tutor for us so we can like pay to have like the classes and
Nice.
all that. So then I definitely want to get into like what is the Peruvian Spanish.
Yeah.
So I'm not like saying anything that just doesn't make sense. Um, it is fast. So a lot of times I'm like, despacio. Like,
Got you.
okay, like one more time. What?
Does the
But
accent
super, super.
feel really different? Like the way that they're pronouncing words?
Sometimes I'm trying, and it's a specific word because every time I've heard it, I've been like, wait, what? But it's a word I very much know. But when they say it, like however it flows into it, I'm like, wait, what? Um, but it's something really simple. It's like it might even be like your name. It's like something that you know the
Mm,
phrase,
mm,
but the cadence of it is like,
mm-hmm,
wait, what did you just say? Like
mm-hmm,
one more time. What am
mm-hmm.
um, but super, super friendly, super patient. I do find more people that speak some English than I did
Okay.
in Medellin.
Okay.
At
Interesting.
least so far, but I don't know if again that's because I'm downtown or like I don't know what brings that about kind of thing. Um, but yeah, like because I'll be like trying to figure it out, and they're like, "So you want a menu?" Like I'm like,
Oh, they'll say it in English.
and I was like, wait, hold on, let me use my Spanish.
That's funny.
I am trying to talk to you.
Is that an
And
area
they're
where they have more expats? Because of course, here too, I'm usually outside of the expat areas. So people definitely don't be speaking English where I'm at.
so this area, from what I know, the area in Lima that most expats are in is in like Barranco, Miraflores, like where I stayed the first time. I'm in
Okay.
Lince, which is like more central, so it's further away from the coast and a little artsy area.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a very populated with expats. I haven't run into anybody in this building yet that speaks
Mm.
English. Like, I mean, like that is an expat. They speak English.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think
Interesting.
I'm near the expats. So and it's probably like maybe 15 minutes, like a 15-minute Uber ride to get to Miraflores. So it's not
Okay,
far.
to those areas.
Um,
Is the city
yeah,
really
yeah.
large? So the city isn't like really large.
It doesn't feel that way to me.
Okay.
But again, I haven't done a lot of exploring just yet.
Got you.
Um, but it does feel like you can get to places very quickly. Where in Medellin, you would be in traffic for 45 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Now, the traffic of it all, it's not so much traffic. Like I feel like I don't know. As I was about to say that, that felt like a lie. I was about to say I could drive here, but maybe not. Maybe not, because they do some weird shit. You'll be like, they will just turn from the right lane and make a left, and I'm just like, ah, okay, all right, or just like cut off buses. I was like, you don't value your life,
Or
but they are
mine.
also very don't give a shit about that. They're very, 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 very horn heavy. Like if you
Oh, that's
don't move,
different.
girl,
Because they don't
horn
really blow the horn
heavy.
here at all.
It is constant, and will like lay on the horn. And I'm talking about the light turned and you weren't halfway in the intersection already. Like they're like now, right now, do it now. Why are you still here? And I'm like, oh my god. And
do
so
they have
I
a
was
lot
even
of
thinking,
do they have
go
a lot
ahead.
of motorcycles and stuff too? Like here?
So they do have a lot of bikes, but I feel like there's more bikes in Medellin from what I saw. But there's still a bunch here, but it doesn't feel like as many. And it's probably because these people will just come over and kill you. Like it's wild. But like it's a constant thing. Like and then it's like a chain reaction. I'm like, okay, what is happening? Um, so very, very horn heavy. But it made me wonder though, because they also seem like very nice people. Like they don't seem like I'm in a super hurry rush to get to like the next place, like when you're talking to them outside of the car. So I'm wondering if because they let that aggression out while they're driving, that they're just calmer in
Oh,
real life. And like
okay.
we're all so pent up because you're supposed to be nice and polite and let me use my blinker and let me not curse you out, that then people are going off on people at
At
Chick-fil-A.
home.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if it's because they let it out. They're like, hey, get out
Interesting.
the way so I can be nice to you in real life. I don't know. But yeah, so that was the difference there. Um the people are beautiful, like gorgeous, and just like regular, like your cashier at the grocery store, it could be a model. Like
Hmm.
just attractive people. Um,
Is there an
what else?
Afro-Peruvian population there?
So there is, and that was actually what one of the when I was at the brunch, one of the ladies there was saying, like, they kind of keep to themselves, but if you get in, then you're golden. But that it is a different community because there wasn't like a Black in Lima,
Mm-hmm.
Black expats of Peru
Mm-hmm.
group, like
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't a thing, which was why I was in this other group just
Mm-hmm.
asking where I can get my hair done. Um, so she said that yes, it does exist. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what that is and um, kind of what that looks like as far as meeting people and being able to kind of interact with the community in that way. Um, but definitely, yeah, there's a big Afro Peruvian
Yeah.
community.
Nice.
So it's been an experience so far, but I'm
Yeah.
excited because I think when I was in Medellin, it wasn't about necessarily seeing Medellin. Like that wasn't the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much get myself centered, get myself
Mm-hmm.
grounded. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really worried about what was outside.
Mm-hmm.
Where here, um, yeah, where here, I like in my head, I'm like, oh, I want to go. Like, there's a spot where, because I said it's a desert, like you can go ride the ATVs and the sand dunes and go sandboarding, and there's an oasis and all the things. So, like, um, I do want to see those things. I do want to see
Yeah.
those sites and like actually be involved with like learning the city and being a
Yeah.
part of like what the history of the country looks like. And so I'm excited for that stuff. And then my
Yeah.
mom's gonna be here. Thanks, Kim. Next week or this week, I guess, depending on what day you say it is. But this week, she's coming this week.
Awesome.
So she'll be here for like 3 weeks. So then there's like the joy of being able to experience, like
Some
all of
things
us being able
together.
to experience these things. So I
Yeah.
have been holding off a little bit because I'm like, I got here by myself, and I was like, well, I don't want to do that because then Bianca's coming. But
Right.
then, okay, Bianca's here, but then my mom's gonna be here next week. So it's like, well, we can. I'm like, do you want to do this twice? And she's
Right.
like,
Right. Or just
no.
wait.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so we'll wait. Um, so like I'm excited for that to just kind of see the
Yeah.
things through their eyes and like for us to have this shared experience of experiencing some of these things. So I'm super excited for that. So it's
It
been
sounds
a
like you're
good
in your
time.
frolicking season. And I don't know if you remember that when I was telling you and just different people who are looking to leave the States, there are certain phases that you go through. So
Hmm.
that first phase is like, okay, I made it, I got out.
I made it. I
Woo
got out.
shit. What is
Yeah.
happening? Like you kind of let
Now what?
all of the trauma kind of seep out of your spirit and you're kind of just tending to self, doing a little things, but not really out here frolicking it up. Then the next
Yeah.
phase is you like, I want to see the things. What are all the
Show me the
things?
things.
Where have I been? Everything is so whatever. Like I get to go see. So
Right.
then you go through that phase, and that's a fun phase. And then eventually you go through different phases of okay, now how do
Yeah.
I connect this to my purpose and what does this new life look like intentionally and like all of that. So it's exciting to hear you in your frolicking phase. And I'm curious if there will be some content that we'll be able to look at to see what is there because people have been asking questions. They're like, So, what's Kalonda been up to? Hey there, KK.
I
Where
know.
you been? You know. So I was just curious if there might be some things that are coming up so that we're able to experience
Yes.
and see what you're
Yes.
seeing.
Correct. I have been. The problem isn't making the content,
I
right?
know. It's
It's putting
editing.
it together.
I
And
know.
I am very much I hit record. Here you go. This is what you got. But I know like that's not right. And so I'm like very much on the like balancing the right of it all, of the production and all the things, and just getting it out. Because I do have stuff because I will record it,
I
but
know.
I am also the person who's like I want to be in whatever I'm in. Like when I went to brunch, I think I literally took a 12-second video and a picture of my croissant. Like that was it. But I did like talk a little bit in the Uber, like took some pictures before I left the house. So it's just like walking that kind of fine line. But I am very aware, like I do want to share this because I know the questions are there of like, what does it look like outside? What do the buildings look like? Like you said, even in Medellin, like, yes, there's construction. Like they have trash trucks.
Right.
The
The
roads are
regular
paved.
life.
There's a mall. There's a McDonald's. Like there's the Starbucks. Like, but people don't know because they don't
Yeah.
have that point of reference. And I'm supposed to be that point of reference at this point of like, look, this is everything here. Let me show you what I'm experiencing. So yes, I will. Now just have grace with me on the sound. It's probably not gonna be in friggin'
Listen, where
landscape.
Auntie,
Like
have you watched? If y'all have watched my content, y'all know I be saying in the thing, I be having my phone and I be like, listen, okay, I don't have
you're
a
gonna get these
camera.
bars.
Okay, so this is gonna be in this orientation until I get enough to get a camera. Okay, and thank you
Exactly.
for
That's
watching.
it.
But yeah, I was gonna say I try to do
That's it.
things as
I'm like,
unedited as
here, enjoy
possible.
these. I did some captions in my birthday video.
Come on,
Hmm.
captions. Okay. Yeah, I try to do
I
things as
know, because
unedited
that's
as
not my
possible.
ministry either.
I think your signal over there is lagging just a little bit,
Is
but
it doing a
it's okay.
dance?
No,
All right.
because I want to give the people the update because you had asked, how have things been for me. So I do want
Yes.
to provide a little bit of context of what that's been looking like. So while Kalonda moved to Peru, I moved to the mountains. Okay, because I mentioned a little bit ago, construction wears my brain out. And the place that we were staying at, there was a very active construction site right outside the window. So it was a lot. So I had been, even when I had my first apartment here, there, I would always look out into the mountains and like just imagine myself being on this green pasture in the mountains. And God would like shine the sun on this
Mm-hmm.
particular area. And I'm like, there it is. That's where I'm supposed to go. But it very much felt like a pipe dream. Like it very much felt
Mm.
like, girl, how you don't even know how to where is that and what are you talking about right now? But I just
Right.
kept saying it because I felt like that's what I needed to have happen. So in this process of finding the place that I'm in, I usually do start on Airbnb, and I'll start on Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll kind of negotiate from there. But the difference this time is there's a lot of uncertainty, right? So I'm still in the middle of the asylum process, and so my visa is only until the end of the month. So I don't really have that negotiating power to be like, hey, can we knock a little? I
Right.
know it says
I'm gonna be here.
1,200, but
Right.
can I give you 750 and I'm gonna be here for a year and take care of your place? I don't really have that. So
Right.
that made the search a little bit more difficult. So I wound up, I was
Mm.
on Facebook one day and had joined a Facebook group or whatever, and somebody put a website into the chat or into the comments. And I was like, well, let me go see what's over there at that place, you know? So I look and I come across these different options or whatever. So I'm reaching out to the different people and they're either taken or they're not responding or whatever. So I get down to this one place that I'm like, let me see, it's in the budget and it seems like it has a nice view. I don't know, because people could put pictures of things, I don't know, you know, whatever. And I
Girl,
wound up
angles.
coming to visit, and it is everything that I have been looking for. I It's on the property is, they have three like cabins, kind of, is what I'm gonna call them or what they call them, and they're
Uh-huh.
building a couple more. So the owners live on the property, and then they have these different cabins that are on the property. And that's a kind of a really cool concept. So the area that I'm in is just me over here in the mountains, right? So I get to sit out and just look at, if you all have been on my Instagram, you, or in my stories, you may have seen me post a video of what it looks like outside the window. So I get to wake up to that and I get to drink my tea to that. And it's just very, very peaceful. My plants are thriving. Okay. I
Yes.
mean, the air is even it's more fresh and clearer,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because I'm outside of the city, right? So
Yeah.
the um the plants are thriving, and there's a lot of plants like that are like regrowing right now. And it's hard to say what season it is here because it's always spring. So
Right. Right.
it's like springtime budding that's happening, but you know,
Yeah.
so that's been really cool. And because I don't have so many other like sensory things that I have to manage, I've been able
Mm-hmm.
to cook more and
Nice.
watch shows. That has been amazing because I really
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get into that in a second, but it's been
Nice.
wonderful. And I feel like it's easier for me to have my routine that I need,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, be able to have this particular affirmation video to wake up to, and then you know, have brush my teeth and then have my coffee and then take a shower, and like, you know, whatever, like I'm actually able to do those things that keep me grounded and kind of prepare me for the day. Because I think we talked about this before, I am a gradual wake upper.
Right.
So I have my my waking up. If this is a axis, right? So my waking up is like this, and then at some point, maybe about 1, 2 o'clock, then we start going,
Not
right.
one.
Show them your wake up graph. Show them what your wake up look
Ew.
like,
It is a
man.
rocket. Well, look, I will say at least. Well, look, now I have come a very long way because my alarm clock used to be the auga, like the old car sound. Yeah, that was how I woke up. So then I'm gradually going to like there's no alarm clock, like there's no real noise on my phone outside of like the little vibrating for scheduling, whatever. But it's been pretty quiet. But yes, I wake up talking. I'm like, we're up, put the music on, like, let's do the things. What we doing today?
And I wake up very much like um gradual, like sunrise, and it's not at sunrise time, don't get me wrong, but like
Then she's like,
imagine
it is not then.
at all, okay. But like imagine like a sunrise, just gradually waking up, the birds start chirping, and the day kind of gets started. That's how my wake up goes. So it's nice to be able to kind of like gradually do that and
Ease
you know
into the
get my
day.
routine.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's been really cool. And yeah, my brain just feels, you know, one of the things I've been doing the frolicking truth, which I'm really, really
Yes.
appreciating. So y'all let me know in the comments if you have listened to any of the frolicking truth episodes. But I really feel like I've been in this like crisscross applesauce. Let me just talk to the people about the things type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I have so many thoughts about things that are happening. And a lot of times I just don't do anything with them, or I just get lost in my own rabbit hole. But there are things that I'm knowing that's needing to be said right about now
Right.
that I want
Right.
to be really intentional about saying. So I've even been feeling myself doing that easier, and it's like I have
Nice.
my setup. Shout out to the standing desk. I mean to the laptop desk.
Hey.
Came in the clutch. Okay. So I have my computer set
Yay.
up, and it really is a situation where I can just like turn on the camera and start talking. So that has been like really cool, that it doesn't have to be a
Hmm.
thing.
Right.
And I have access to sunlight and sunshine just by looking out the window and opening the door. Now, I was telling you about Lucy. Now, y'all gonna have to go listen to the Frolicking Truth, and I put a video of Lucy in there in the edited version. So Lucy is a little kitty cat, and she's cute. Now she is a cute cat. Okay, she's gray. She's gray, and she's got blonde highlights, and she's got a cute little pink choker. Sis is cute, and also sis thinks she could just walk in this house whenever she feel like it. And girl, that's not how we rolling up in here. Okay. So yesterday I
Lucy
had
said
went to
you
throw
thought.
away some trash, and Lucy was upstairs at one of the other cabins because I hadn't seen her. So she was up there, so I heard them like, "Hey, Lucy, oh Lucy, look." I said, "Oh, Lucy said she's sick of me," because I was like, "Hey, hey, hey, sis, excuse me. Outside is what? No, ma'am, you not coming in
This
here
is
jumping
my
on
space.
things. And relax, Lucy." Okay, so that's been interesting. And I had told a story. I don't know if you remember this, when your mama had a cat. Do
I
you?
remember
I
my mom.
feel,
Yeah, we had.
but and I don't know the name of this cat. I feel like this cat's name might have been like Genesis or something. But I was telling, it was just your mama cat. Where you was at? How many
Oh,
years
so
were
that
we
must have
apart?
been Hennessy. That was Hennessy.
Maybe.
It was
I
like a
don't
long
know.
haired cat.
I don't remember. What I remember is the cat tried to kill me. And I
Ah,
had
okay.
to
Okay. Now. The cat slander here.
the cat tried to take my life and my brother's life. No, this was both of
Trying
y'all's
to
cat,
take you
because
out.
I was still home and Corey was there. So we were watching the cat. We were teenagers. So this was y'all's cat. I don't know why
Oh,
we
okay.
had the cat and where y'all was at. I don't know. But anyway, the cat tried to kill me. And the cat tried to take over Corey's room.
But you have to describe how the cat tried to kill you, because I feel like it probably was just showing
Because I
itself.
was sleeping and the cat kept laying on my face trying to suffocate me.
Not trying to suffocate you. Your head is the warmest part of your body, so they want to get in and snuggle. They're not trying to suffocate. It's the
On my
love.
face.
I knew it. I knew it had to be love. Whatever it was cat love. Cat love feels like murder, okay? But it's still love.
Not cat love feels like murder. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Jesus sent it to you. You got Lucy, girl. You go.
But you know what's so
Just
crazy,
accept it.
Kalonda? I was meeting with somebody the other day, and we were talking about like planning some trainings and stuff. And as we're talking, she has two cats. They just came into the camera, was like, I said, why these cats following me? Why? Why are these cats following
You are
and
entering
stalking?
your cat lady phase.
I don't want, I do, you don't know. No,
Welcome. It's not something you ask for. It's just something that is given to you,
no, ma'am.
and this is your era of acceptance. All right,
They can
enjoy.
be outside. That's what they need to understand. All of y'all could
Put a
be
little
right
bowl of water
outside this
out there for
door,
Lucy.
and that's fine. Lap it up, and
Plant some
don't come up to
catnip.
this door. Don't come up to this door and don't think that you about to be walking all up in this doggone. The girl, she done messed up my rugs and can I say, oh no, sis, you got to go. Sis. No, man.
Oh,
So
oh
yeah,
my
the
God.
Tushan said Lucy is your roommate. Child.
Exactly.
Uh-uh. So
Embrace it.
anyway,
Welcome.
child. So I've been going back and forth with Lucy and trying to get her together. But outside of that, it's just been really peaceful. But it has been
Oh,
an adjustment because I can no longer just like order rapi just on
I
the
was
spot of
literally
a dime.
wondering about. I'm like, you said you're in the mountains. I'm like, how do the things get to you, and how do you get to the things?
Right. And also, so y'all think y'all funny in this hit chat. Etienne talking about stroke Lucy and be happy. Hey, no,
Exactly. Exactly. Tell her
no.
again. Don't do
So
Lucy like that.
outside, girl. So anyway, so they have grocery stores that deliver. So
Mm.
that process, but it's very much like send an order on WhatsApp with what you need. So now I got to be aware of everything that's in the grocery store. Like, how am I
What do you
don't
have?
know.
Right. Can you send me some? Is there a catalog? Can you
Is
send me
there
some
a
pictures?
catalog that like you've got to be kidding me right now, So so that's been interesting. But I've also gotten down to the place of like eating a lot of the same things. So
Uh huh.
that is helpful. So for instance, my breakfast of choice, and it's very much in like my hyperfixations, but like my breakfast of
Uh huh.
choice over the past week has been peanut butter and jelly sandwich and an apple and my tea. Right. So that's what I have. And
Nice.
then another week it might be oatmeal and tea. And then another week it
Uh,
might be smoothie and a tea. Right. So that helps me to plan more.
right.
Um
Hmm.
but y'all stalking. They really trying to make me cuss in this here chat behind this damn cat. That's what I want you to know. But whatever.
Just saying. That's what I'm
So
hearing. Is you are now a cat
Lucy's so
lady.
pretty. Shut up, all you damn cat lovers.
We love them.
But so that's made it easier to order the things that I need.
Hmm.
And then working with Chef Ratatouille, like actually planning out these are the meals that I want to have for the week.
Uh
So,
huh.
like I said, I have been cooking more. What did I make? Oh, I made shrimp and vegetable teriyaki the other day.
Ooh,
Baby,
sounds delicious.
baby. When I was so mad that I didn't have some more, I was like, this is
Oh
good.
no! Go
I made
ahead.
fish tacos last night. I was
Yum.
gonna make a fish sandwich, and then I was like, let me just make fish tacos. So I've been making fish tacos, fish sandwich. What else have I had? Rice and what was it? Rice and fish and vegetables. So kind of
Mm.
like a traditional type meal with patacones. And then even one day I had
Yes.
shrimp and grits with patacones. So that's been really nice to like get kind of back into the mode of that because I had put
Yeah.
a pause on everything. Test kitchens, all like y'all, I got to figure out what I'm doing. So like
Yeah.
just everything got the pause. So it feels good to kind of be in a space to be able to bring those things back because those are all like
Yeah.
creative expressions and really finding
Exactly.
the mindfulness in how
Mm.
I'm preparing my food and what I'm choosing to prepare. Again, there's a garden here. Um my little herb garden is out there thriving and such,
Thriving.
so it feels very much like farm to table, like, oh, let me cut my onions and let me get my mint off the plants and put it into my tea,
Yes.
so I feel very much like that girly, like the farm girly type girly a little bit.
I
So
love
yeah,
it.
it's again, like you said, it's only been a week. So like the food that I had ordered last week, I think I
Uh
went
huh.
through half of it. So
Okay.
that's the other thing is like portions and all that because you know this
Right.
food is fresh, right? So that also means if
Correct.
you don't use it, it's gonna go bad.
It's gonna. Right.
Right. So I'm trying to like figure out that balance and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been really
Uh,
good for my brain. And
I
I'm
love
just
it.
happy to kind of be like, ooh, all right.
I mean, it. I love hearing it. I remember when you came home showing kind of, hey, I think I just found my place, and it was like literally everything you had been saying since forever of
Mm-hmm.
what you wanted, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
like tearing up in the kitchen, like I'm so happy for you,
Yeah.
and I knew that it had been an adjustment where we were because they were literally building an apartment complex next to us, y'all. Like this I was yeah. I don't know how many of those men saw me naked every day. And I was like, I don't know if they miss me. Like be like we knew if we looked up on the 18th floor, the possibility of seeing a naked ass was very high during lunch.
Oh,
Like
that's
I don't know
funny.
if they'd be looking for me or what, but like they were close. They were very close, yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew like getting out of that and then being able to go into like what you were really dreaming of and wanting and your toes in the grass and your vegetable garden and in the mountain and being removed so you can interact when you want
Yes.
was everything that you had asked for. So I was so happy to hear that. And
Yeah.
it made even for not that I was your emotional support person at all, but it made it feel better with me leaving for you. I'm like, okay, she's good. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna be happy and taken care of and good. So
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
very
And living in a space that I spoke, into existence. And it's interesting because the owner, when I had come to visit and I was looking at everything and I was emotional because I was like, I can't believe that I'm about to like have what I said that I need and what I want. And she was like, well, yeah, I mean, you called it. You said that this is what you
happy.
wanted, so it's here. Like, was I was like, I know, but also, girl, it felt
But
so far. It felt so
right.
far away, and even not even that it felt so far because I felt like I was going to be able to find the place. It was I going to be able to afford it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then to find the place and it be within my budget and just so much flexibility. Even she was like, you can stay here as long as you need to stay here. She was like, we can do month to
Yes, it
month
did.
and that's totally fine. And then if within a month you see you have to leave, we'll give you the money back for what you didn't use. Like, it was
Yes,
just
it did.
so, yeah, it was just everything that I needed. So
Yeah.
it's been really phenomenal. And what I was gonna say that I was gonna say, oh, I see Chef Ratatouille talking about today you're gonna make lentil burgers.
Yes, lentil
So
burgers. That sounds
we'll
good.
see what that looks like, because I'm not trying to be doing this thing
I
for a
know the
long time.
cooking. Be
I'm
like, wait now, how long? How long we got to be in the
I'm really
kitchen? Which the food here,
uh-huh.
I can't stress enough how good the food is here.
Really.
So it's making
So
it
they
very
use
hard for me,
spices.
girl. It's like the food is so friggin' good. It makes no sense. So there's spices, there's just flavor, even just like the French fries are good.
Mm,
Like just French fries, but they're delicious. Um, but it makes it hard for me to want to cook. But then I go, okay, but it costs money to keep buying food. So,
mm-hmm.
I got to do that. But then I also had to figure out how to use the stove. So, again, as people are planning to make these moves out of the country or into different countries, just keep in mind those kind of things. Because I guess at first I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, it's an electric stove. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think anything of it. I'm like, all right, fine. Um, well, it's actually induction stove. And so I'm like, okay, cool, awesome, great.
Mm-hmm.
So then yesterday, I finally go to make breakfast and I'm standing in front of the stove, like, how you? how you turn this on. Like, I know with induction, in theory, it doesn't get hot until you put it on the eye and it
Mhm.
meets with the
Mhm.
metal and then it does
Mhm.
the things.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it very much has an on button. And so I'm like, how do I do this? So then I'm like messaging the host, which I'm
Yeah.
sure they're like, you've been there a week, and you haven't used the stove yet. And I'm like, look, don't judge me.
No judgment.
So
Exactly.
there's an air fryer and a microwave. Like, I didn't need to cook just yet. And I had to find salt and a salt shaker. I don't know if they don't use salt shakers here, but I ordered a salt shaker and I got a toothpick dispenser. So I was very confused by that.
Interesting.
Um, Very interesting. Um, so I've been like sprinkling salt, which is a whole different feel. Like, I realized how much salt I put in the grits when you're doing it a quarter teaspoon at a time. It feels very much like high blood pressure. So I'm
Mm.
like, I need a salt shaker. I don't want to see it like that. Thank you very
Mm.
much.
Mm.
But yes, the food's phenomenal. Figured out how to work the stove. I guess it was apparently locked. And why, Airbnb owners, if y'all are watching, sorry, no, I'm gonna get back to you. Um, why do y'all turn the gas off? Like, the last couple Airbnbs I've gone to, when I come in and I go to take a shower, I'm like, or I go to wash my hands, like, why is the water cold, right? And then they go, oh, it's off. Like, here, one place when we went to Santa Marta, they had to send somebody to turn it on because it was somewhere else. It wasn't even
Oh
in the
wow.
unit. So I'm like, here's the thing. I get it. Like, if whatever, like, keep the cost down, you don't want to pay for it, fine. But you know what day and
Somebody's
approximate
coming.
time
Correct.
that I'm gonna be here. Can you just turn
Correct.
it on?
Right.
So I don't have to be trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm literally sending pictures. And the guy's like, it's over here. I'm like, there's nothing on the left side. So then I send a picture. I'm like, do you see it in the picture? And he's like,
Right.
oh, I'm in the bathroom, like the actual like left. Go turn it to the left, and I'm like, but the water's cold. Like, I need to turn the hot water heater on. It's not on. Wild, wild.
Cause
And
I don't want
then
to
come
do
to
all of
find
this.
out, this was, you know, come to find out, I'm like, okay, so I got the bathroom together. I figured out how to get the hot water in the bathroom. So then I'm like, okay, hey, how do I get the hot water in the kitchen sink? Because it's still not turning on the hot water heater. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, um, oh, it's just it may be off at the whatever the hell at the pipes, so or the valve. And so I get down, I take a picture. They do have two valves, but they're both blue, which is cold. Neither one of them is red. And so
Mm.
I'm like, hey, this is it. I turned them all on, turned the faucet on. It still doesn't kick on the hot water heater, and both of these are blue. So he's like, okay, I'll ask at the property or whatever and see what it
Mm.
is. So then I check back with him and I'm like, hey, any update on the hot
Mm.
water in the kitchen? And
Mm.
he's like, there's no hot water in the kitchen. The hot water's just in the bathroom. So I'm like, oh. I was like, well, that's disappointing. So I'm literally like, but luckily there's like a kettle. So we just warm up the water, do your dishes.
That's how it was in
It's
my
fun.
first few apartments in Mexico. It was
Was
like
it
that, and my first apartment in Medellin, that the hot water was only in the shower,
only in the bathroom? Wow.
only
I
in the
was
shower.
like,
It
okay.
wasn't even in the
Oh, not
sink.
even the sink.
Uh-uh.
Oh yeah, no, we have it in the sink and the shower. So it's like I'm trying to enjoy the process of like, oh, when I make tea, let me pour in the water in the kettle and like do it
You make
that
it a
way.
part
And
of the
now it
routine.
feels,
That's what I used to tell you.
it
You remember when
feels
I
like
used
a
to talk
process.
about washing clothes and I was like not having a
Uh-huh.
dryer,
Oh
and I
yeah,
said you
the
just make
dryer.
it a part of the thing. It's like, okay, now I get to lay the clothes out and put them
Hang
out
my
into the
clothes.
sun and
Right.
just, make it a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
Peru has one of the better foods in the world, mixing between Japanese and Incas.
And
Interesting.
Inca. It's so good because like a lot of
Interesting.
places they call it chifa, and so it's like their rice. It's like a fried rice, but it's
Okay.
everywhere. So, but they don't call it Chinese food. Like they're like it is Peruvian food because they from their the Chinese population and the Japanese population that's been here forever. Like they're like this is what our food is, and
Yeah.
so it's really cool to see it incorporated that way, and it's just so good. Like they have this thing called I think it's mosarita, mosarito. If someone knows, correct me if I'm wrong. Papa Swakatina. I've seen it. I have had Causa. Causa is delicious.
This is
It's
Chef
like it
Ratatouille,
looks
y'all.
like
He likes to nerd out on food. So this is when he comes to life. Of he's here in the chat,
I love it. I
telling
love
Kalonda all the things to
it.
try.
He's like try the Causa lemon. It looks like I want to say a crab cake, but like a tartar tower kind of thing because it's just
Okay.
layered, but it's usually circular, and it looks like um I'm trying to figure out how to even describe it, but either way, it's potatoes. It's not what you think it is, but
Okay.
it's like really light and fluffy. And sometimes they'll do like a ceviche in the middle of it, or like
I feel like I've seen
a
this
different fish or
before.
pollo. So good, and it's like it's lighter than what you think it's gonna be, but it's delicious. The I don't know, if I'm saying that right though, but like huacachine is like this lemony sauce that they put on the pasta or rice. It's so good.
Mm,
Pisco sour is like one of the drinks that they're famous for here. It's a
mm.
brandy with like lemon, bitters, and egg white, which I thought I would never drink. I know, but the egg white is just to make like a foam on top, so it's not like it's not as bad as it sounds. But the drink itself is really good.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I even had Popeyes the other day. They have a Popeyes
Mm.
here, and it was so good. Like it's just random. Like everything tastes amazing. But the mozzarella is like just this grilled chicken
Mm-hmm.
with fried rice and French fries. And then they have these three different sauces, which I have to figure out what these sauces are. Because
Mm-hmm.
one sauce, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like thin mayonnaise. I don't know. I don't taste anything in it. That's the one Bianca likes. Then there's
Okay.
one that tastes like it reminds me of ranch. And then there's a third one that's kind of like a spicier, maybe like a spicy mustard kind of remoulade, but not pink.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Um, that's really good. And then it's like a acevedo. I know I'm saying that wrong. Of this sauce that is phenomenal on chicken, on fish, and I need to learn how to make it. So
I
like,
was gonna say,
I'm
well, you got to
super
figure
excited.
out what how you
Yes.
make these things.
Oh yeah, it's happening. And then I definitely want to do like the cooking experience classes where they show you how to make the ceviche and all the stuff. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the food of the things.
Yes. I love that. I love that so much. So, before we go, I do want to talk about our rabbit hole segment. And the rabbit hole,
Yes.
y'all, is stuff that we have like just been down the hole of whatever the things are. And it's a lot of things that are happening right now. Okay.
Yes.
Um, so who should start? Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Mine is really short. I mean, because I
Okay.
already talked about how do you work this thing, because that was talking about the stove and the hot water heater, and I want salt in a salt shaker. So just as you're making your moves through these different places, realize it's different, and just giving yourself time to find the things. Oh, side note of other things that taste amazing, honey. I am not a honey person. The honey
Okay.
here, phenomenal. Love it. Taste so good. Like
Interesting.
they have these things called picarons, and they look like donuts with a much larger hole, but
Okay.
it reminds me of a beignet. I feel like if you covered it in powdered sugar, it would be really close to a beignet, but they
Okay.
just put like this honey on it. Girl, phenomenal.
Delish. Okay.
Um, yummy, yummy, yummy. But no, my rabbit hole has literally just been about the girls going at it. Friggin' Trump, Trump and Elon Musk. I have been having the time of my life. Like, this is what y'all get. And I don't know how people even said in the beginning that this was going to happen. But it's so funny because it really does look like they are breaking up. Like Donald looks like he lost his best friend and he's really disappointed
Oh, for
that this
real.
happened to him. Yeah, and I'm like, boy, please. Then what did they say? They said it's DEI. It's Donald and Elon infighting. I was dying. I was like, y'all didn't enact the DNI yourselves. But the part that I found just very interesting is those two, like, y'all know how you operated, what your relationship was, like, what things were done legally, illegally, gray area, what have you. You would think that would make you leave each other alone. Be like, well, I'm not going to poke the bear because they know my secret. But then the fact that they're so used to not having had any accountability of whatever it is that they know it doesn't matter. So when Elon is like, oh, you guys haven't seen the Epstein tapes or the Epstein files because Donald's in them, like, that's not surprising. And that's wild to say those words together about the sitting president, but it's not surprising. And to know that, even having said and heard that nothing's going to happen. Like, where's the outcry of, oh, holy shit, well, release them? Like, where's the public outcry of, well, we need to see this. Why haven't we seen this? And if you're not in them, why wouldn't your answer immediately be to release them? Because now the question is always there, as if it wasn't already. But like,
That's what I was
there's a
about to say.
spotlight.
But wasn't a question. Like that wasn't news to me. That was like,
Right.
of course
But it
he's
was
in
news
the
he said
fund.
it. Yeah. But
Ain't
it's
shit
like
about
when
to
you,
happen.
it's the craziest thing though. Like, that's so wild. But then to see just the pettiness of it all of, okay, well, fine, we're gonna pull all your funding. I'm surprised Biden didn't do it. And I'm like, you just can't help yourself. Like, what is going on right now with this?
It's a
I was
reality
gonna say,
show. That's what he's in there for. All of this is a reality show to have a reality show and to do all the things that they've been working on doing since Reagan. Like
child.
this plan has been in place for so long. And he's just a puppet to sit there and entertain. He's a fucking entertainer. So that's what he's doing, is entertaining. And the whole thing with Elon is there so that they could blame it on somebody else. Like that's the
Oh, well, yeah.
reason, why he was there. So even him like having this bombshell stuff and all of that, child, we
Make
still
it.
in the same place that I've been saying that we was in since back in
Since
2020.
Ben.
So when that
Since
man got
Ben.
elected the first time, 16, since
16?
since then I've been like, this is not gonna be good. It's, I mean, like, so I don't know. I'm so very much detached from it. Like I recognize it, but I just feel like I hate to say this because it aggravates me when people say this, when people are like, it's all a distraction. But it
Mm,
is. It is just
it
because
is.
nothing is about to happen. So it's like, it is all they're doing is when they say you put a frog in the water and turn up the
Yeah.
temperature little by little, that's all they're doing
Turn it
is
up slowly so they
desensitizing
don't.
people. Yeah. So it's like, this is the next phase of the desensitization that, while they are kidnapping people in California and running over people and on camera and not caring, and all these masked people that you don't know who they are taking law abiding people that have been waiting on citizenship for years, and like all of that is
Right.
the chaos that is happening. So this is the comedic relief, if you will, of the chaos, so I just feel not desensitized, but I just feel like, so when is the actual government, the people that claim that they were there for the people, like the remnant of the people
Right.
that claim that they were there for the people, when y'all gonna push the button to stop this shit? but you're not, because
Not.
respectability politics and, trying to act like we're the party that always, follows the rules and all, which ain't none of y'all been following the rules. That's how the hell we got here in the
Ever
first
never.
place.
Ever
So
never.
we are like, we are watching the dismantling of America. And I have been saying the same thing for years now. What is the plan? What is the plan? How many times we done been on here asking people, hey, y'all see what's the plan? For those of you
Because it
who
does
can
not
leave,
get
what the
better.
hell is you waiting on? For those of you that can't leave, how are you finding community to be able to insulate yourself? Because all of this chaos is happening. It's happening. So
Yeah.
what is the plan?
Because it's not just wait 4 years. We're never going back. Not that there was a great time to go back to at any point, but the things that have been lost are lost. It's not just, oh, he's not going to get elected or he's going to leave office in the first place. But like the things that have changed fundamentally in this country or in that country, um, you're not going to go back to whatever standard of life care you thought you had. Like, if anything, this is a time that's revealing to people what actually what is the reality of
Of
America.
what's
You
been
know, it's
happening the
not
whole time.
correct. You know, it's
Yes.
like seeing behind the veil of like all of this, none of this was done for the people. Nobody gave a shit about the people. And you can tell with every single thing that they're putting in place, the goal really is just to continue to enrich the pockets of the wealthy. It is
Correct.
not, they want to distract us with race and these things, but it's not about race. It's class. It's
Mm-hmm.
about who has the money and who does not. And unfortunately, there are people who, because they assume it's the race, they're aligning themselves with the people with the money because they feel like they look like them, but not realizing that the people in these higher classes view you the same
Correct.
as the black and brown people that they are trying to get out of the country. Like, your only value is what you can produce for them to make them richer. But they've positioned it in such a way that you can like brainwash yourself to feel like, oh, I'm better than. You know, they're not
Correct.
talking to me. So that's why everybody was so surprised with DEI because you didn't realize that you were DEI. Like,
Right.
DEI was in place because that is what they had been doing and had been trying to do or actually doing, and they said, hey, that's not right. You can't not hire this person, or you can't not give these advantages, or just evening the playing field. You can't just continue to hire your good old boys that don't have the skills as some of these women. Like, it was never about race in the first place, but that's what people have been so blinded by and
Well, it's
continue to
about
get
it's
lost in.
but it
Well,
is about race
there's
now.
about race, but it's not, but
That's
not
not the
in the sense
primary
of
thing. The primary thing is
correct.
power, access, and money, and making sure
Right.
that the only race that has that.
Is yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Mm.
it's a lot. It's really interesting to me. And I get my information about what's happening now through comedic sources or through
Uh-huh.
different type of activists. So I've definitely been tuning into Amanda Seals
Mm.
a lot lately because she is talking about the global implications of the things that
Mm.
are happening. And one of the things that I continue to become more and more aware of is growing up in the US, we do not have a global understanding.
No.
And
No.
we again like get wrapped up into this reality show and not
Right.
realizing that the global landscape is shifting, right? And
Yeah.
that we are many people in the US still believe that the US is still the best country despite all of this stuff that is happening. So that just speaks to the level of propaganda that we have not realized that we were being subjected to until you get out of the matrix. It's
Right.
like it
Right.
really is, and it sucks because they have demonized this type of language and stuff. I was talking about this somewhere because I was saying, maybe it was on the Frolicking Truth, because I was talking about I'm not crazy, I'm called.
Uh-huh.
And I was saying how I had left the church, this particular church, this one time, and I was telling the pastor that I was leaving because God was sending me into like entertainment and having platforms and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, well, God don't want you in the wilderness. And that's how things have been painted, that whenever you say something that goes against the norm and goes against what is acceptable, then you in the wilderness, you woke, you third
Right.
eye, you whatever. And as opposed to that, you see shit for what is actually happening. I made a
Correct.
scandal reference earlier. It's like recognizing that B613 is really a thing. And
Yeah.
like accepting that radical acceptance. So it's interesting because it makes those of us who do see it seem like we are the crazy ones.
We
You
are
remember we was
crazy.
in the
Yeah.
house when this,
Yeah.
when not when this first started, but like at some point, this
But
might have been like September, and we were like, because if you wasn't here telling me, I would think I was crazy. I know I'm not crazy.
right.
Like I see it. What is
exactly.
that? Y'all don't see
Exactly.
this?
I can
Like
see
what
it.
is
You don't see
what
this?
what y'all doing? What y'all doing? So yeah, it's a lot. And so I'm gonna just ask y'all again what y'all's plan for what that looks like and sounds like and how you are moving,
hmm
because it's not about to get better. This is not a 4-year situation. This is a
Right.
until situation.
Yeah.
I just saw something, the Supreme Court allowed Doge to get access to social security information and all
hmm
that kind of stuff. And it's like the Supreme Court, I was listening to the analyst, and he said something like the only time the Supreme Court stands up to do something is when it impacts whether the court will have a voice. That's the
hmm
only time that they seem to do something that is in the favor of the people. Outside of that,
Right.
there's is 6-3. Like it is
Yeah.
slanted in the way of everything that is happening with Project
Yeah.
2025. And if you're wondering where America is headed, open up Project 2025. I actually have a video
it's
that is
there.
linked on this page in a playlist for Finding Peace Abroad. There's a video there. I didn't make it. I want to say the creator's name is Deja. But anyway, watch it because it explains what is happening. And that is what is happening. Okay. And nobody, as you see,
It's what's
is
happening.
doing
Yeah.
anything about it to stop it. So we have to accept that that is what's happening. And then what is the plan for that? Okay. So that is, I've been tip tapping in that in and out, but my rabbit hole has been forever on Netflix. Have you
Mm.
seen it?
I have not. I have
It
not.
is
I
so
haven't
good.
gone down that road yet.
It is so good. When I tell
Really?
you, it is so good. Like, and I never read the book. Did you ever read Judy Blume books when you were growing up?
I didn't, and it
Um,
was funny because I was saying that she needed to do a book on perimenopause.
I
but
saw people saying that.
it was like since we're talking about
Yeah.
that, why don't you get on over here and tell us about that, Margaret? Thanks. Tell
Yeah,
Margaret
because
about
she's wasn't one of her famous books like "Hey God, It's Me,
it.
Margaret" or
It's
something
me,
like
Margaret,
that.
and
Yeah, I
about
never.
puberty and coming of age. I I
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if I read. I don't think I read that though. I don't think I read that.
Okay.
I think I'm thinking of no, I can't think of this lady's name, but she also wrote the Ramona books.
Oh, I remember Ramona. Now I remember Ramona,
Yeah.
but I remember Judy Blume's name, and I remember the name
hmm
of the "Hey God, It's Me, Margaret" or whatever the name of it
Are
is.
you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm like whatever the name of it is. But
She's like,
anyway,
okay.
so I never really consumed her books. Also, I wasn't really a reader like that. Kalonda is definitely the reader out of the two of us. But it's based on her book Forever, and it talks
Mm,
about teenage sexuality and falling in love and like all that kind of stuff. And so great. But also the series is the creator is Mara Brock Akil, and she's the one who did Girlfriends, and she wrote on Moesha, she wrote on the Jamie Foxx show, she did Being Mary Jane. So she's just so great at how she creates these stories, and she changed the characters to black characters, and it is just such a beautiful journey. They've already
Mm,
gotten renewed for a season 2, so
nice.
they're right, so they're starting to work on that, but more so than forever, because I think I'm about to do a series on it and like unpack and watch each episode and talk about the different themes, because if I was still in the
Mm,
classroom, I would
uh,
have my students watch this,
oh
because
wow.
it the type of conversation that I feel like that it has the ability to generate, and the type
Uh-huh.
of conversation that it has for parents to be able to have
Mm,
conversations with their children about life and different things, is, I think it has a lot of potential. So I would
oh wow.
definitely have a curriculum. I would be like, and we're watching episode 1. Okay, so what are our thoughts? Because it's just so
Right.
much. But outside of that, I had went down the rabbit hole of listening to Mara do interviews about
Mm,
Forever.
mm-hmm.
And one of the things that she brought to my understanding, that I never thought about creative works in this way, particularly movies and shows, is how they are time capsules.
Mm-hmm.
And they capture what life was like during that time. They capture the way that you communicated. They capture the clothes that you wore, the language that you use. Like, it captures that. So when I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about that, I'm like, oh my God. And back to what we were saying earlier about like documenting what is happening in our lives,
Ah,
because right now this is our Diary of Anne Frank moment.
right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
we would not have
Yeah.
known what was happening had Anne Frank not sat down and said, let me actually write this down and talk about
Right.
what this is like from my perspective. Because the young people are losing their shit. And they're losing their
Mm,
shit in various ways. So, like, some of them are losing their shit as in existential crisis. Like, what
right.
is happening,
What
right?
is this?
I
Yeah.
have a series of tweets that are not even tweets because I don't be over there, but a series of posts that I'm gonna make about processing how to help our young people right now. And when I'm saying young people, I'm talking about people under the age of 25. Let's just put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically, like our 18 to 25-year-olds that are now adults, and they're like, the fuck is this? This what y'all leaving for
Right.
us? One of the
Right.
tweets, why I keep saying tweets. One of the posts that I was planning on making says something like, we handed them a dumpster fire and gave them a broom. Like,
Mm,
what the hell are they supposed to do with this, right? Meanwhile, they are saying things on TikTok, like there's a trend where they're saying Harriet Tubman isn't a real person, and Sojourner Truth wasn't real, and they ops, and like all of this kind of stuff. And I get it, and I get people's frustration with that, and I get people's frustration with young people, but also, how the hell are they supposed to know? Because the misconception is that
right.
they're learning this stuff in school, and what I can tell you is, as an educator, they're not teaching them these things in school. So then where are they supposed to get it from? They get it from the elders, and
Yeah.
we are those elders. So
Right.
if we are not keeping
Yeah.
stories alive, if we are not being intentional about documenting what's happening in our own lives and sharing those stories, how the hell are they supposed to know what to do?
Right.
We
Especially
are
when there's
supposed to teach them.
active campaign to remove the history that is there. Like, where are they supposed to get this information? When you're already dealing with a slanted view of the storytelling in the first place. So whatever you were getting was this much, and now they're trying to take that away completely. Like, what is the plan? What is the alternative?
And so people getting mad at them because they're saying whatever from their perspective of whatever information that they've been fed. But have you given them the counter? Have you sat them down and said, let's talk about what these journeys look
Right.
like? Let's talk about your great great grandmother. Let's talk about who these great figures were, because I was saying in one of the videos, like Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, those are people that kind of broke through. You might have got a little bit of
Hmm.
a Nat Turner,
Right.
might have got
Maybe.
some Marcus Garvey,
Depending on where you
maybe,
lived.
depending on
Yeah.
where you live, depending on what kind of school you went to. But these are just the
Yeah.
people that rose to the top, right? And
Right.
then, so if that stops happening, so now we have a generation of people that don't even know who those people are, right? And
Wild.
then I would hear people saying things like, we not our ancestors, in the context of like our ancestors just laid down and
Weren't
took all of this. But
correct. Weren't trailblaze. Right.
what happened is the stories of the things that they did do to fight got lost because the elders
Exactly.
stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
making me be so much more intentional about two things. One, about documenting and actually talking about this stuff. Remember when we started off and I was like, I really have been like, I need to sit crisscross applesauce and say some things, because we
Yeah.
cannot blame the next generation for shit. We gave that to them. We gave them this world that they trying to figure out what
Yeah.
the like everything that they were taught in school books is crumbling in front of their faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you, we not processing it well? We still
Right.
not accepting that what's happening is happening. They're seeing what's happening, so then they come to us and we tell them everything's fine.
It's
Everything's fine.
fine.
Everything's totally fine. No
Don't worry
problem.
about it.
Everything. Oh, it's fine. God will take care of it.
Eggs are
Just
cheaper now. It's okay.
just go pray about it. It's totally fine.
Child.
You know what I mean? So it's like we are gaslighting them because we haven't accepted it. And then we mad because they out here processing it however the hell they need to process it with
Trying
no
to
help
make
or no
it their own
support.
way. Right. Yeah.
I'm over it. So we need the aunties and the uncles to step it up. We need the aunties and the
Yeah.
uncles to be the ones who are saying, okay, y'all, now we don't know everything. We started this off all the time saying we are not experts at everything. We do know some things though. So whatever the things
Yeah.
are that you know about what is
Share.
happening, your own perspective, the way that you are choosing to fight, the way that the world is happening right now, we're all contributing to this time capsule, because these young people, and I'm talking 18 to 25, let's not talk about the babies that just got born that's not in school
Child.
yet. Do you know
Because what
that
is
this
that
year
gonna look like?
they are going to have schools have to have a mandatory Constitution Day in September, where they have to talk about the founding of the US in these fanciful terms in the Constitution, and it's now an annual program that schools have to do. Do y'all know that there is going to be a huge parade celebration for the 250th year of the US existing next year that is going to cost an exorbitant amount of money, that they are already preparing for how schools and children are going to have to interact with those things? Do y'all know that there are now several states where the 10 commandments are mandatory to be displayed in classrooms regardless of how someone identifies with their religion? Do y'all know that they just passed some executive orders recently that have allowed schools to redefine how they define discipline and the types of things that are able to be done to discipline certain students that exhibit certain behaviors that are often caused by trauma? Like, I've been telling y'all about these schools for a while now.
Yeah. But that's
And
why they're taking out all of the education about them so they can just say, oh well, this is it's the behavior we're treating, but not actually going to
correct.
see what the cause is behind it.
Correct. Correct. So it's a lot. And I think that I want us in our generation to be more intentional about how we seek out young people and how we choose to show up for them, because
Mm,
they are lost and confused, and that is our fault, because we are
yeah.
the ones who are supposed to be guiding them and teaching them and showing them the way. So that is one of the reasons why we were like, we aunties asking auntie talk to us about the things, like,
Yeah.
because we how the hell else is you supposed to know if ain't nobody told you?
If
And why
nobody
ain't
told
nobody
you.
told you when they know they done walked this path already? Like we gotta do better. We gotta do better
Yeah,
with that. So this is our hard work, if you will, this week
there it is.
for us to be thinking about how we are showing up for the generation that is coming behind us. That is whether you have children or whether you don't. We are all responsible for showing up for this
Hmm.
younger generation. And what I will say is all of them are not out here just being like F them old people. I have quite a few young people that be like, hey, when can we meet? Cause
Right.
how
I
I'm
got
supposed
questions.
to do this? Like, what
Yeah,
is this?
I have
So
questions.
there are young people that are seeking out guidance and wanting to ask questions and wanting to learn. So let's not write them
Yeah,
off as if they're all just these miscreants
just a
that
lost
are out here.
generation. Yeah,
Yeah, when they are trying to figure out how to navigate this world, and we need to give them the information of what we've done so that they can put their own spin on it and figure out what that looks like for today. So
exactly.
that's been the rabbit hole that I'm on and I'm gonna be on for a little while. So y'all just
That's
get
it.
ready, okay? Because I've got content loaded and rants ready to give because we
Yeah,
cannot we cannot divorce ourselves from what is happening. We can't.
yeah,
Like this, we are very much connected and need to show up. So
that's it.
that's it. So, we will be back, y'all, in 2 weeks. If you have not done so already, please do go ahead and like the video, okay? And leave a comment about something maybe that has impacted you during all this time. Even if you are watching on the replay, we know today was a little bit longer because we had a lot to catch up on. But we will be
Yes.
back. Do we want to be on this cadence of this week being the week that we
Yeah,
do the
we can do
shows
that.
around? So in 2 weeks from today.
So the 22nd.
So we'll be back on the 22nd of June. All right.
Yay.
Please tell somebody, please share, please like, please comment, please give your own feedback
Yeah,
about what your thoughts are. Okay. Just because we're not live anymore doesn't mean that we can't still continue to talk. So
that's right.
please do talk to us in the comments and let us know the things. Where can the people find you, Miss
The
Ma'am?
people can find me on Instagram at Kawana Bear, KAWANABEAR. They can also find me on Instagram under Visionary Executive Network, which is where I help business owners and visionaries do the work that they love while I get to do the stuff that gives them the hives. So come seek me out over there. I can definitely help to try to help walk with you as you make sense of what you want that purpose to look like. I especially am helping people that are looking to leave the states and maybe trying to determine what that looks like for them as they're trying to work on their own and outside of the system. So feel free to reach out to me there. You can find me on Facebook at Kalonda Jackson, Kalonda. That's me. Come say hi. And you can find me on Cash App. Feel free. It was my birthday. If you want to bless a sister that way, I'll definitely take that donation at $Kalonda, Kalonda. And then when all else fails, you can find me at the house. The house may move, but that's where I'll be.
Wherever that house may live. So y'all
Amen.
can go to KimberlandJackson.com to find mostly all of the things that are there regarding me. I do want to say if you are looking to create a strategic plan for what it looks like to leave the States, please go to findingpeaceabroad.com and schedule time with me. Every day I get a message or a comment from somebody that I have helped to get out. So if you're looking to do that, please do holler at me there. Also, I do free healing circles for Black women who are in toxic environments, trying to get out, maybe experiencing burnout, trying to process neurodivergence, all of that. So if you go to tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle, you will be able to join me in those. I do those bi-weekly on Saturdays. So please do go ahead and sign up. You can see the different dates and sign up as you see fit. And then minding my black ass business on all platforms. We will be having some more content that will be getting put up for you all, especially those of you who are in the Patreon. I do want to
Mm-hmm.
thank our Patreon members. So, shout out to Geraldine and John and Janice and Bianca. And I'm missing one other person I wanted to uplift, Karen. So thank you to those of you who see fit to support us financially. At it starts at
Mm-hmm.
$5 a month. Right now you can get a 7-day free trial if you
Hey.
sign up, so that way you'll be able to see the things that we have been putting in the Patreon, and then you get the first know about the other things, the behind the scenes things, and all of that. So again, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Appreciate y'all. Like,
There it
comment,
is.
subscribe, share, all the things. All right. And then
Mash all the buttons.
we'll be back in 2 weeks. Bye, y'all.